several of these wooden boardwalks to get over to the beach and parking lots, but the parking lots are not too full today. And it is, what did you say, Wade?
12.5 degrees Celsius.
Yikes! And we've been seeing people running around in bathing suits desperate to get this Florida sunshine.
Hi, I'm Wade.
And I'm Lorraine.
And we are on the off-ramp. And today we are traveling through the Emerald Coast region of the Panhandle in Florida, discovering the Gulf Islands National...
Okay, that's hard to say, isn't it? The Gulf Islands National Seashore and the Fort Pickens area. And we're actually going to head into 3 different campsites in the Fort Pickens Park because it's a busy park and that's how we could get some nights.
Yeah, we were fortunate that we got 3 nights, but they are 3 different sites and that's all totally fine.
And with the van, it's easy to move, so it wasn't a big deal.
So join us as we discover the beaches and we go visit the historic Fort Pickens Fort and do some traveling around Pensacola as well. This is our campsite at Fort Pickens. There's Lorraine waving hi from her studio. A little bit of firewood for a fire tonight. And this is our campsites. And this is more of the tenting area, non-serviced area. So we are experiencing non-service as much as we can as we prepare to have an upgrade completed in the near future.
So while we drive, the Jackery is sitting on the floor. And if you look carefully, it's hooked up to this, what do you call that port? What is that? Just a
12 volt.
Just a 12 volt. And so then the engine will charge up our Jackery while we're driving. So our driving around, about an hour and a half. And the Jackery was what before we left?
67.
67%. And now it's at 99 and ready to give all of us lots of power for our boondocking tonight or dry camping tonight. But if I unplug that, just pull it. Thanks. And if I take a look at our batteries, or I guess house batteries we call them, and from all that driving around, they are full. And what were they before we left, Wade?
Down to the last 1/3.
So they were 1/3 full, and driving about an hour and a half has given us the power we need to easily last us now a couple of nights. But we have to watch for that. And we're sitting here at Fort Pickens in a unserviced site. Tomorrow we move to electrical, and then we move again to another electrical. Because that's how we could get into Fort Pickens.
Yep. Fort Pickens is the largest of 4 forts built to defend the Pensacola Bay and its Navy Yard. Work on the fort was begun in 1829 and completed in 1834 and used actually until 1947. Over 21.5 million bricks were required, most made locally and barged onto this island. Ironically, the only real action the fort endured occurred when the country was at war with itself. Fort Pickens was one of 4 seacoast forts in the South that remained in Union control during the Civil War. In 1861, Union forces at Fort Pickens faced Confederates holding the mainland, and the 2 forces came to blows in October and November of 1861. These masonry walls were strong enough to support heavy cannons on top and allow space for cannons below, providing twice as many guns as earth and log forts of similar size. Notches were cut into the rear columns of the casemates in 1841 to allow room for newer and larger gun carriages. The 15-inch Rodman cannon is the largest smoothbore cannon ever used by the U.S. Army. 4 men carry the ball with a sabot attached. 1 man has sponged the barrel to extinguish any sparks from the previous shot, while 2 others handle the 50-pound powder charge in a cartridge bag. Fort Pickens played a significant role in various military conflicts throughout its history. It guarded the entrance to Pensacola Bay and the Navy Yard, making it key defense point during the Civil War, Spanish-American War, and both World Wars. Fort Pickens was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1970 and is now part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore. It is open to the public and attracts visitors interested in its history and natural surroundings. Over the years, significant efforts have been made to preserve and restore Fort Pickens. The National Park Service has conducted restoration projects to maintain its historical integrity and provide visitors with an authentic experience.
Oh, now he's confused.
It's coming to get you. Okay, so Wade's getting the Jackery set up to use the solar. We have charged it up a day ago by driving, as we've shown you, but now we're parked for a couple of days, and the Jackery's how low, Wade?
I'm down to 32% power remaining,
Okay.
and we've used it the last 2 nights while I used it a lot for computer.
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 Yeah, it really drains it,
That
doesn't
thing
it?
really drains it. The CPAP isn't bad, but the computer can really drain it. Plus, we charged up our phones and everything else on there too. So
But if you used that Jackery for just your CPAP and we didn't charge anything else on it,
then it could go 10 days. Well, 9 for sure, maybe 10.
that's pretty long. So
Yeah.
for that, it was worth it. But as we are going to be doing some more dry camping in the next couple of days, in fact, probably even till we get home, we're going to make sure this Jackery stays charged and ready to use. Whether we're driving, we'll charge it, and the solar. Now, to be honest, because we drive so often, we haven't used the solar panels very often.
Yeah, I think twice before, I think.
Twice? Even that often? Okay. So he's going to hook that up here on our picnic table, practice and figuring out. Is the wind going to be a problem?
No.
It's nice. It comes with a case that carries a lot of their stuff. Good thing Wade picked this thing up on Black Friday and got a little bit better than normal price for it. Now, what do you think? How much time will it take to fully charge it?
Good question. I don't even know.
Not sure. We're going to see. We're going to stop here at our campsite for about an hour, have some lunch, and then we want to head down to the beach. We will not leave this at our campsite charging while we're not here. I don't know, it just feels like it's one of those things that might
Stealable.
Yeah, it's stealable. That might walk away from the campsite if we're not careful.
Probably not, but
Yeah, we've not had anything taken, so, but I don't feel like we need to put fate to temptation here or whatever. Wade's using very, very intense calculations there to figure out the angle of the sun. And he's going to leave the Jackery itself in the shade. Does it look like it's charging?
yeah. So
Started at 32.
it's a 100-watt solar panel, and right now it's charging at 76. Probably the shadow of the handlebars.
Think that's slowing things down? Hey, we're new at this, but we're glad to have it, and I'm sure as we use it more, we'll learn more about getting it.
And again, this may all change in the next couple of weeks, so
Yes, it might, but here we are. This is how we do dry camping right now, and we are hoping for a change. Stick with us to find out what that's going to all be about. Okay, let's have some lunch. We're heading to the beach, and Wade's packing up the solar panel and putting it away inside the van. We're driving our van to the beach, and the Jackery went from 33% to how much? 50%, and that was in about
hour and a half.
Hour and a half maybe. So it's slow going. It wasn't charging it.
No, but we got
100%.
juice out of it though.
Yeah, it was charging at about 70%. It said, as it was hooked, looking at the beautiful sun. So anyway, it was good for us to figure out how this works.
We're at Fort Pickens in the Gulf Islands National Seashore Campground. And we have 3 different sites for 3 different days because this is a busy place and we booked last minute, but this is our site for the last night, and we'll be moving down about 5 or 6 sites after this.
If you're enjoying the content we create, we'd love for you to become a part of our community. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an update from us. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new videos and join in on the discussions happening in the comment section.
Now, if you find our videos helpful, entertaining, or inspiring, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could give them a thumbs up by hitting the like button. It really helps us reach more people and lets us know that you're enjoying what we've created.
We also encourage you to leave a comment on any video that resonates with you. We love hearing from our viewers, and your feedback and ideas mean the world to us. It's a fantastic way to engage with our content and be a part of the conversation.
Well, we had a little cold front come through last night and went down to about 6 degrees Celsius last night again. That's about 42 something Fahrenheit, and some rain. And this is our last night of the Gulf Islands National Seashore. So we are heading off to Tallahassee and then making our way over to South Carolina.
We've had an incredible time camping, and exploring the region of Pensacola and Fort Pickens. And we've really enjoyed the beautiful outdoors and experiencing all that this area has to offer. From sandy beaches to the historic Fort Pickens, there are no shortages of adventures and natural beauty in this area. Sadly, today we are moving on from the Emerald Coast and the Panhandle of Florida. We are heading east and eventually ending up in South Carolina, where we are getting a complete makeover on our electrical system on the van. That includes solar panels, a lithium battery, and a beautiful 2,000-watt inverter. You can see those videos on our YouTube channel as well.
We know that our experiences through our travel, but even in our life, that we have to remember that things can change quickly, or our plans need to change. So that's why we go by, hold our plans loosely.